When we speak of happiness, most people immediately begin to imagine situations, people, or things outside themselves. They think if they had a little more money, a little more recognition, or just the right relationship, they would be happy. But I want you to simply look at your life and see, has anything outside ever given you lasting happiness? For a moment, yes, when you first got that job or when someone praised you, you felt elevated. But how long did it last? Soon, the excitement faded and you were already looking for the next thing. This is the endless cycle of human desire, and within this cycle, happiness always seems to be just a little out of reach. The truth is, happiness is not hiding in the things you run after. It is not hidden in the approval of others or in the possessions you accumulate. It is already within you. You do not need to invent it. You only need to uncover it. Imagine a child playing in the mud. They do not own anything valuable. They have no bank account. They have no grand achievements. Yet they laugh and dance as if the whole universe belongs to them. That simple joy is proof that happiness does not come from outside. It is your natural state. It is just that, as you grew, you started believing that only if life arranges itself in a certain way, then you can be happy. But life is not here to arrange itself according to your preferences. The sun rises on time, the seasons change, the earth spins, rivers flow. Yet you sit and complain that life is not happening the way you want. The problem is not with life, the problem is with the way you think happiness must come. If you look closely, the only reason you are unhappy is because you decided that in order to be happy, something else must first happen. You tied your inner state to the outer world, and the outer world is never fully in your control. Happiness is not an outcome. It is not something that comes after conditions are met. It is your ability to be at ease with yourself and with life as it is right now. The reason people miss it is because they think, first I will achieve this, then I will relax. First I will reach there, then I will celebrate. But life does not work that way. If you do not know how to be happy here, now, then even when you get what you want, you will still not know how to be happy there. You will just find another reason to postpone it. Let me ask you, in this very moment, what is missing? You are breathing, you are alive, the earth is holding you, the air is nourishing you, yet your mind keeps insisting that something is lacking. This is not reality speaking. This is your mind conditioned to always want more. If you learn to silence that unnecessary noise, you will see life is complete right here. You do not need to travel anywhere to touch joy. You only need to turn inward. When happiness depends on something outside, you live like a beggar, waiting for the world to throw you scraps of joy. But when you realize it is within you, you live like a sovereign being. Nobody needs to give you happiness, nobody can take it away either. It is yours, naturally, unshakably. The only work needed is to remove the layers of longing and fear that you have piled on top of it. So the real secret is not about adding something new to your life, but about dropping the false belief that happiness is elsewhere. It is here, it is now, it is you. If you observe carefully, most human beings are living in a chase. One person is chasing money, another is chasing love, someone else is chasing respect, and yet another is chasing power. The chase looks different for each person, but the feeling is the same. Deep down, all of them believe that once they catch what they are running after, happiness will arrive. But have you noticed that even when you get what you wanted, it never ends the chase, it only shifts the direction. You wanted a bicycle, then a car, then a house, then a bigger house. You wanted appreciation, then fame, then recognition from the whole world. The chase never concludes because you are running after shadows. When you run after shadows, the faster you go, the further they move. Happiness works the same way when you treat it as a destination. You run and run, but it always stays slightly ahead of you. This is why so many people feel restless even after achieving what others would call success. They reached the peak they dreamed of, but when they stood there, the happiness they expected did not greet them. Instead, they only saw another peak in the distance. This is the nature of chasing. The truth is, happiness is never the result of pursuit. It blossoms only when you stop chasing. It comes when you are simply present with life as it is. Imagine sitting by the ocean and trying to trap the waves in your hand. The harder you try, the more the water slips away. But if you just sit quietly and allow the waves to come and go, suddenly you are immersed in their rhythm and joy arises without effort. Life is also like this. When you stop trying to capture it, you can actually experience it. The mind, however, is not comfortable with just being. It always wants to become something. It keeps whispering, if I had that, I would be happy. If I reached there, life would be perfect. But becoming is endless. Being is simple. Becoming keeps you running. Being keeps you grounded. If you shift from this restless drive to simply existing with awareness, you will see that happiness is already here, not somewhere in the future. People often confuse comfort with happiness. They think if life becomes more convenient, they will be joyful. But look at societies where comfort is at its highest. More money, more technology, more opportunities. Do you see more joyful faces there? No, you see more anxiety, more discontent, more restlessness. This proves that comfort does not guarantee happiness. Happiness comes only when you are not driven by the need to constantly acquire. It comes when you know how to be content without conditions. If you can learn to sit, breathe, and simply exist without feeling that something is missing, you have found the key. This does not mean you should not act, achieve, or create. Action is beautiful, creation is necessary, but the difference is whether you are acting out of lack or out of fullness. When you are full within yourself, your actions become an expression of joy, not a desperate chase for it. Happiness is not waiting for you at the end of the race. It is here at the starting point, available the moment you stop running. The secret is not about becoming more, but about being fully alive to this moment. If you know how to be, then even the smallest act, even the simplest moment can overflow with happiness. If you look at life carefully, most of the pain you experience does not come from what is happening around you, it comes from what is happening inside your own head. The sun rises and sets, the seasons change, people come and go, this is just the nature of existence. But your mind takes every little situation, twists it, replays it, magnifies it, and creates suffering that has nothing to do with reality. Someone said a word to you 10 years ago, and still today your mind repeats it like an echo, and you feel hurt again and again. What was just a passing moment has been turned into a lifelong wound by your own memory. The mind is a powerful instrument, but when it is left uncontrolled, it becomes a tormentor. It can take something that is not happening at all and make you suffer as if it were real. If you look at it, 90% of human suffering is not because of life itself, but because of the constant noise of the mind. The mind worries about the future, replays the past, and rarely lets you experience what is happening right now. Life is happening here, in this moment, but your mind keeps dragging you elsewhere. If you cannot hold your mind steady, it will rob you of your happiness no matter how good your life is. Freedom from the mind does not mean destroying it, it simply means you no longer allow it to control you. The mind should be a tool in your hands, not a master sitting on your head. If you learn to hold it lightly, to use it when needed and put it aside when not, you will see how peaceful life becomes. Right now, most people are enslaved by their thoughts. They think, I cannot stop worrying, I cannot stop remembering. But that is not true. Worry and memory are functions of the mind, and with awareness, you can choose whether to turn them on or off. Have you noticed? Sometimes when you are absorbed in something you love, watching a sunset, listening to music, or holding someone close, the mind goes silent. In that silence, joy comes naturally. Nothing changed in the world outside, only the noise of your mind paused, and suddenly you felt alive and happy. This shows that happiness is not about fixing the world, it is about learning to quiet the inner chatter. The problem is not that thoughts exist. The problem is that you are identified with them. You believe every thought is you. If a thought of anger comes, you say, I am angry. If a thought of fear comes, you say, I am afraid. But anger is just a wave passing through the mind, fear is just another wave. You are not the wave, you are the ocean. Once you recognize this, thoughts can come and go without disturbing your depth. Freedom from the mind is not about stopping thoughts, it is about no longer being ruled by them. The mind is like a wild horse. If you do not know how to ride it, it will throw you around. But if you learn to sit firmly, that same horse can take you anywhere you wish to go. In the same way, If you learn to direct your mind consciously, it becomes a tremendous force and suffering disappears. So understand this clearly: life does not torment you. Your uncontrolled mind does. If you free yourself from its grip, happiness will no longer be a rare visitor, but your constant companion. If you look at the way most people live, they are moving through life almost mechanically. They wake up, eat, work, talk, laugh, fight, and sleep, but very little of it is done with true awareness. They are not living, they are only reacting. Something pleasant happens, they smile. Something unpleasant happens, they frown. In this mode, happiness is always accidental because it depends on the outside. But when you bring consciousness into your life, happiness is no longer an accident, it becomes your natural state. Being conscious means that you are not just existing on autopilot, you are present in every step, in every breath. When you eat, you are fully with the food. When you walk, you are fully with the movement of your body. When you speak, you are fully aware of the words leaving your mouth. In such moments, even the smallest actions can be filled with joy. Drinking a glass of water, watching the play of light through the leaves, listening to the sound of rain, these simple things become celebrations when you are conscious. The reason people miss happiness is not because it is far away, but because they are never really here. Their body is in one place, but their mind is always wandering elsewhere. They are eating, but they are thinking about tomorrow's meeting. They are sitting with family, but they are worrying about bills. They are lying in bed, but they are replaying an argument from years ago. How can happiness touch you when you are never truly present? Consciousness means you stop scattering yourself across time and bring your whole being into this moment. When you live with awareness, life reveals its richness. You will see that joy is not hidden in big achievements, it is woven into the fabric of existence itself. A bird singing at dawn, the warmth of sunlight on your skin, the rhythm of your own heartbeat. All of these are gateways to happiness if you are conscious enough to notice. But if you are lost in your thoughts, you will pass by these miracles without even realizing they exist. Being conscious also means being free from compulsions. Most people do not act, they simply react. If someone insults them, anger rises instantly. If someone praises them, pride takes over. Their moods are like puppets pulled by invisible strings. But when you are conscious, you can choose your response. You can decide whether to be peaceful or disturbed, joyful or miserable. This freedom is the essence of happiness. As long as you live unconsciously, the world controls you. Once you live consciously, you hold the reins of your own life. Living consciously is not about withdrawing from the world. It is not about sitting in silence and doing nothing. It is about bringing awareness to everything you do. If you walk consciously, work consciously, speak consciously, even the most ordinary day becomes extraordinary. You don't need a special event to be happy. Your very existence becomes a source of joy. So, the secret is simple. If you live unconsciously, happiness will always slip away. If you live consciously, even the smallest breath can overflow with joy.